Hello, welcome back to my poetry channel. This time around I'm going to read you three poems connected to flowers. The first one about the daffodil, appropriately given it's spring and the connection between the daffodil and spring. This particular daffodil was one I found in the garden, broken and thrown on the ground in a pretty disheveled state, and I almost absent-mindedly brought it into the house and stuck it in some water, and it gave me a very pleasant surprise, and this is the poem about that. Daffodil Dazzle. Cast on the wet ground long enough to have lost shape. Every part but the vivid yellow drained. Perhaps that saved us both. Enough to be lifted with little care, thought, or expectation. Stem end snipped, a tall narrow vase filled, plop in a few movements, no further turn of thought. By evening, you are a grand flamenco dress, each fold pronounced and formed as a diva's phrase. Barely believable yellow in full flaunt. I'm stunned, humbled that you had that within. You gave me days of dazzle, curling my lip when it might have been as inanimate as a grey sky. The second flower I want to mention is the rose, and this was inspired by a rose quite close to a cafe where I used to have my coffee every day near the university, and if the day was fine I would sit outside, and one day I noticed this rose and it was like as if it had appeared overnight, and it obviously hadn't, but that was my impression at the time. So this one is White Rose of Donovan's Road. White Rose of Donovan's Road. You literally stop people in their tracks. You mesmerize them momentarily with your fragrance, entering their senses like a billet doux through a letterbox, bringing an unexpected fillip on a bright or drab day. You shake romance from hibernation, even in the hardest heart. You win all with your flouncing taffeta bows of cotton white, a Latin dancer in haughty splendour, knowing she alone owns the floor. Your self-possessed elegance and genteel grace unmask smiles. Competing fumes and noise stilled by the whisper of your perfume. Yet I have sat here through spring till now, with my eyes not once in thrall. Will your allure diminish as the daylight shortens into August, and the passing world fall back into banal indifference? The hips of promise going from green to red with little note or comment. Their scarlet lips of interest only to hungry birds as winter dawns. The constancy of our admiration matched by your fleeting moment. Our fickle fancy at once a source of joy and dismay. The third poem also involves a rose, and this time it was like a little scene from a Hollywood movie. A friend of mine, a classmate of mine, died. We had spent a lot of time together in the latter part of his life, and I went to his funeral, and this little event occurred at his funeral. A woman arrived and she placed a red rose on his grave. So I call this poem Mysterious Rose. Mysterious Rose. We speculated about the woman with the rose. She didn't occupy the first row, but then she was not shy either. Walking into a graveyard dressed in black seems appropriate. But these were not widow's rags, high heels, dress cut to flatter, not for ashes. Her face might have been made up for a date. And then the rose. She looked her best, and why not? After all, it's as important to create as good an impression on your last date as it is on your first. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed it and looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.